Okay, so we're just going to go through the answers real quick. As I'm walking around, you guys mostly did pretty good here. Notice that it's the pair that simplifies, because you want to think about that pair of 2's is like the 4 when I did square root of 4 times square root of 5. And the square root of 4 simplifies to a 2, but the square root of 5 doesn't. Okay? 8 and 9 were the 2 that should have had i's in it. I saw that on most of your papers. Good job, because those are my negative square roots. Okay? Now, on this one, let's look at 10 here. Notice it had a pair of 3's and a pair of 2's. These are all factors, which all means multiplying. That's why it's 6 square root 2, not 5 square root 2, 6 square root 2. Anybody get those first 4 right? Handful? Kind of? Close enough? Okay, let's stop there on those first 4. Are there any questions? Any questions? Okay, let's look at number 11. I had a pair of x's, so that came out, but there was still 1 left over. Why is there no radical anymore on number 12? Because it's a perfect square. Everything fit into a pair, so it's a perfect square. Okay? For number 12. So it should have been just 10r. Because if there's everything fits into a pair, then there's no need to have the square root anymore. Same reason why on like the square root of 100, that's 10, right? I don't have a radical anymore. Okay. How are we doing, okay? Any questions? Okay. All right, let's move on. I'm going to skip 13 and 14 for time. You're getting the idea of that, but I want to move on to 15, okay? 15 is a little different, right? Because it's a cube root this time. Okay, the first thing I want to do still is split up the negative, okay? The first thing I still want to do is split up the negative. Okay? Now, the reason why we had to deal with I with the square roots, right, was because the square root of negative 1 is not possible, right? But is the cube root of negative 1 possible? Meaning, can I have the same number times itself 3 times and stay negative? Absolutely. If you don't believe me, type it into your calculator. The cube root of negative 1 is negative 1. That's not imaginary if it's odd, because I can times a negative number an odd number of times and it stays negative. So there's not going to be an I in 15 because it's not a square root, it's a cube root. My answer is just going to be negative. All right, you with me? Okay, what factors into 250? 25 and 10, good. What else? Am I looking for pairs? Triples, it's a cube root. So negative 5 cube root of 2. So you may want to write this so that you have it memorized. Okay. Okay, let's do one more cube root. And then we'll go on to our last thing. Let's do 18. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is split up the negative 1 with the 16. So remember, it's going to be like cube root of negative 1 times the cube root of 16. All right, so then I have 4 and 4, 2 and 2. It's a cube root again, so I'm looking for triples. So the cube root of -1 is negative. So, and then I have a triple of 2, so -2, and then my leftover is the cube root of 2. Good? We have one more thing to talk about. Any questions? Okay, skip to the next page, and I want you to jump to 23. Okay, we're going to go backwards now. All right? We're going to go backwards now. I'm saying the simplified answer was 2 square root 2. So that means I know that I'm trying to figure out what my number was inside the radical. If I have a leftover 2, that means I know that's that 2 right there, right? But if I had pulled out a 2, oh no, that's an eraser. If I had pulled out a 2, then how many had I grouped together inside the radical? I heard 2 different numbers. Yeah, I don't know. They sounded like the same time to me. Come on, guys, what do you think? If I had been able to take a 2 out, how many did I have to group together? 2 of them. No, on the inside it's 2 of them. On the outside it was 1 of them.
No, you know what I'm saying? Like it would have been 2 times 2, which made it so you could bring out.
Yeah, there we go. So this group right here is this, right? And this right here is my leftover. So what was the number under the radical?
8.
8, good. Okay, let's try another one. Let's do 25. Okay? Because them both being 3s, I think, is what might be confusing you guys. So let's try 25. So if I'm trying to figure out what the radical was before I simplified, the fact that there's still a 3 left over right here tells me how many 3s was in the radical. 1. The fact that I could pull out a 2 means how many 2s had I grouped together? 2. And how many y's had I grouped together? 2 of them. So now if I multiply all this together, I get 3 times 2 times 2, which is what?
12.
Y squared. So that's what I had simplified to get the 2y root 3. Should we do one more? Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what the square root was, right? I couldn't take out a 5, so that means I know there was 1 5 in there. Okay? I could take out a 3, so that means I knew I had 2 3s in there. And I could take out 2 y's, so how many y's had there have been if I could take out 2 of them? 4 of them, good. Because that's how I had 2 groups. So 5 times 3 times 3 is what? Y to the 4th. Try 24 now. You guys got the hang of it on that one. Try 24 and then we're done.